Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing good. Who is here, maybe? Hello. Yes, seems that I'm live. Yes, it's working. I might need to lower the music a bit. Right, if you want to hear me, that's gonna be better. So, how are you doing today, guys and girls? There it is. Are you in any position for the weekend, or are you getting flat here? You know, as always, hey, Queenie. More often than not, the weekend is not worthy to be directionally positioned, right? We usually, most of the time, end up pretty much in the same range that we left the Friday, right? That said, there is some time. Oh, recently there have been really nice positions to be taken on a Sunday evening, right? Fed the Sunday movie. Yeah, but yeah, I was saying this because right now I kind of a bit of a iffy place, I can say. I just wanted to remember that, yeah, we don't see price action, but much of good price action, but there have been some occasions where we went into a trending move over the weekend, right? I guess maybe we can just not necessarily saying it's gonna happen this weekend, but it, could happen. Usually we're positioned here. You see here where trending down quite significantly, trending up here, like a good 10% move. You know, sometimes it happens. I'm considering this because while I'm looking at the account, and I'm going to show you a bit later, or you already know maybe if you were in the crew and watched my live stream from yesterday. It didn't change much, but I think there is decent possibility that we're getting a significant move rather soonish. And things can extend, but yeah, I'm kind of expecting a pivotal wave in the range where Queenie is short from the high and took a scalp long on this low. Nice. I expect lower on this correction to continue high next week. Or pretty much looking at the same ideas as me, I guess. Hey Jenny, good to see you here. My UP is flat. Okay, so first thing first, start with the high time frame just to get back on the right track. I mean, no gross naughty. Well, it's not the right one. Was to say, I was looking at this. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what I explained during last week live stream, right? At least on Monday during the update for the crew, that this weekly candle close was going to be interesting to look at for me. So especially after last week close, where we closed below our weekly level of support here just slightly, and we saw price grinding down and printing its a new lows here, especially on spot. Locally, because we didn't really breach this, and we didn't really reach the box I was looking for. But nonetheless, overall, the idea was that, right? To stay relatively flat over the weekend and have a bit of a dump coming into this week. And then potentially recovery. That would have been ideal to see the low get taken, recovery over the week, and a close back above that weekly level, which is gonna be also the 200 weekly moving average, right? I have to change the chart for that. But so we did get our move below the 200s exponential moving average and get back above for the close. So, well, we did not close yet. We can still dump over the weekend, but yeah, decent setup right here, right? Especially as we look at the mid time frame count here. The idea is that we finished a fifth wave structure, right? You can flip it to the line chart to get it clearer. Ignore a bit the illiquidity or the liquidation week on derivative here, and you have your nice 5-wave structure finished with it looked like a nice finished one, at least, with all the characteristics you look for, right? Bullish divergence, lower volume. That's a wave 4 squeeze, but lower volumes at the third. Bullish divergence up to daily 3 days, kind of flat as well. So the daily is pretty much a nice one for reversal potential. Nice reversal div. Out of oversold, we can, I'll let this trend line because it still look pretty relevant, right? That's a trend line support from our reaccumulation div and significant lows here. So, a bit of a deviation below this into what we can call bear trap. That's how I like to approach this when I get, a nice RSI trend, deviation below it. Usually it's kind of mixed with the sentiment bear trap. And reclaim and retest it, right? Now we have an intermediary trend resistance here yet, so we can still. It doesn't mean we can break down, but now we have with this kind of a nice confirmed bull div here, technically, and still supported by the anchor VWAP, at least on derivative here. Support is still a bit low, but yeah, our 5 waves down. So the same count for the past few weeks, or even maybe months. Two-ID is a complete impulse here, and this then as a wave A, 5 waves down. Now looking for a corrective wave B that remain to be defined. Can be shallow, can be strong. My 2 cents will be for a pretty strong move up right now. I think sentiment is about right now to flip back into a bit more of a bull trap territory. Momentum seems right to me, and that's a feeling when we approach swing trend on that time frame. There's necessarily a bit of a feeling of the market. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. We try to keep it as much neutral as possible, but at the same time, market is sentimentally driven, so still have to approach it that way, in my opinion. So yeah, with B, you placed it here. Just looking at the liquidity above that swing at the moment. Let's see. Still have probably a bunch of liquidity in that zone as well. So, you know, and wave B can take mini form a lot of time. We might be, you know, doing nonsense here, but we might get overly choppy, even if it takes time to get there. Don't have to be straight line. Doesn't have to be just a simple zigzag, even if that will be idle. Can be choppy as well. For me, yeah, main idea is gonna be on that now. Now, you know, second one being right, X, Y, that's gonna be pretty much the same thing for the corrective. Alternative ID being the flat, right? That's, yeah, and that flat can be two things. It can be wave 2 of itself, which in theory say that, yeah, if we start to see volumes kicking in here, you know, look like we finished. We're still into a wave 2 here, potentially for that idea. So you get either an extension of the third wave that could get extremely strong. So that would be basically news driven, right? I think it's a bit early for that, but you know, if we start to see such an expansion and volumes kicking in, you will need volume for that, and start to print new high into an impulsive miner with good context, etc. Well, we might have to consider this the more sensible scenarios, and it can take two forms as well, even if it is a wave 2 here. We might as well, you know, print a more classic, smaller impulse here, take a bit more time, and print a bigger 1-2. That might, or go for an extended wave, third wave, and then you still go for a wave 2, but you might have more or less aggressiveness in that zone. Both are kind of valid here. Knowing that aggressiveness wouldn't necessarily mean impulse move, right? You know, we will kind of see aggressiveness into corrective move as well. Yeah. So yeah, the thing that I wanted to emphasize on this idea is that, okay, ABC flat here, it's very valid count, it's good. It can be wave 2 of itself, but we can also extend this, right? That would mean an extension in time that seems a bit too far, but we have a quick wave B, that could be the case. Yeah, quick wave B, quick wave C, that's possible. The idea to say is it could be, this could be a wave A, basically, and we could go for a wave B that could take the high here for a bit of a bull trap, and come back to finish the flat running or expanding. In that case, I would probably look for an expanding flat, but which would still potentially open the door for, well, that's a much more wild card scenario, right? But the idea is that we could go for new highs here, or just as a wave B, for new highs, and still come back to breach these lows here later, or some kind of capitulating event, knowing that it can get extremely quick. You can see discrepancy between, in terms of time, between the ABC in this kind of occasion here, or just the C wave, you know, keeping in mind, for example, just the last C wave here of a much longer correction, where you have your, there's different way to approach this, but you either have an A, B, C like this, right? If you take it really simply, even if you manage to get a bit more balance here with some kind of double flat here, the last wave has been really quick, right? Just to say this is always some kind we can keep in the back of mind, right? All of what I'm showing you right now are, well, it's all leading towards the same idea that we have further move up here to go, right? Of course, we can have that might be wrong. Maybe we're gonna reach this week low. Maybe we're not gonna go much higher here. You know, if we start to get acceptance back below the weekly level, basically, right, below this order block here, if we start to get acceptance back here, 4-hour close, daily close, stuff like this, well, maybe that's gonna be a failure, and we can continue lower and might extend the count in some way with maybe a diagonal. For now, we kind of breach a diagonal, by the way. I was thinking ending diagonal, maybe, you know. So maybe we could come back, just sweep the lows a few more times here, more choppy way. And yeah, that could still be, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, no, ABC as a 1, 3, 4, 5 here. Get an ABC. Not a big fan of that count for several reasons, but yeah. We can also just extend that fifth wave. You know, keep the same idea here of this being a 4 and this being a fifth, but instead of having the fifth finished, well, we can extend it. I will project a diagonal in that case because we already have so much of a price action down here that to reach sensible targets, the target will remain the same. We're gonna front run the target I was looking for the other day. It's still valid because we took the low of third wave. No, I don't know how it would form, but there's still some room here. Where is my weekly level here? That would become obvious if we get into contraction. Basically, at some point you see the contraction breaker. That would be the trigger to get a lot more aggressive in the case, because that's going to be complicated if we go into an ending diagonal. We'll see. If we're going for a breakdown, well, we go for a breakdown, right? What can I say? There is still the W double zigzag ID that will be a valid one. Or, you know, we'll come back on that. That remain valid. I will come back on that as if we breach this low, right? That's gonna be the idea to keep in mind, especially for the next move here. Because right now we either are in a 1-2, either in a A-B, in my opinion. So we'll see if we cannot breach the high here. Might have to consider a double zigzag scenario and we're going for an ABC. Or we have resistance here around a monthly level, I think 27,200. It's basically the main next target for me on the upside right now. I shift, so that was a position success The idea suggested yesterday during the live stream, right? Basically, that was the idea for a flat. So
Do you have a photographic memory?
okay. So this is how I approach it, and I still do. So now I think quite a nice reaction of the precisely out of yesterday open, I think. It's yesterday open, 30. That reclaims this one. Here we go, right? But well, we kind of met the minimum already for a flat. I think so. Didn't really check. Yeah. Kind of in between, so not necessarily the best. Nonetheless, compelling impulsive here, compelling corrective here, compelling ABC move here, rejection at the 123 retrace. So that's really what we look for. What 123 retrace of that move down. That's what we look for. A wave B of a flat, right? So a bit of weak liquidation wake above it, but pretty much what we look for. We have a 1-1 extension on that move. So you know that's kind of respected enough for me to consider this the most valid one so far still, with a flat in the middle, by the way. And yeah, I would, for me the idea was to basically to just take the high here. We went into such a choppy manner, grinding up. I say, okay, guess the best thing is to go for the liquidity above again, even if we have a completed move like here. And we have a potentially ABC, so this could be wave 1 and 2, right? We could be going already into expansion, but was thinking where we are, I would like to see a bit more consolidation and choppy sideway after we kind of confirm the bullishness, got a bit more confirmation, because that's where you change your market structure and change your you have a change of character, of behavior on that move, and you kind of confirming it again by taking the high another time. Make sense to have a rejection here, right? And come back, take the liquidity. That was nice liquidity building up here. Nice trend. But this morning, to be fair, I took back along a bit early. I just saw while we're still holding, we dipped slightly below the daily open on the open, right? And reclaim it and hold the daily open, the VWAP. So okay, maybe this is going to go, right? It's keeping a nice market structure. Ultimately, I got stopped on that, but I'm still into the short. I took partial take profits already. But the idea is to come get that, right, at least. And have this weekly level that remain key level. It's potential support, as it was aligning pretty well with the 1-1 extension. Now, as we got to move a bit above, it's a bit less precise now, but you know, it's remain correct. And obviously there is still the possibility we get one or both of these lows as well. So even if in my trade suggestion here, kind of keeping my stop losses ID below the low, We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's not going to be full invalidation, right? No such thing. If we just dip a toe below this and get a reaction, still makes sense. But it kind of opens the door to filling all of this and coming back at the low of the range. So that's why for the kind of moment we are here, kind of situation we are here, I rather see the target get the bids get front run than going too low, right? No, if I'm correct, if we finished an impulse down here, you want your thing you want buyers to front run themselves each other, right? So you don't want price to go too low. Otherwise, it shows that there is not that much demand and people are still too much patient and things can retrace them. If it gets filled, the lower bids get filled, so you expose yourself to get the low again, basically. And we're also in confluence with the 3-2 retracement. It's kind of ideal for a reversal point to have your wave 2 finishing at the 3-2. 50% golden token still valid, 786 still valid. It's just kind of better on a reversal point like this. If it is. It's not quite yet confirmed, but and you have this price action here. You can see the high volume buying pressure at the high. That point, that's where we were still potentially into bearish structure before break that. So it's quite high volume into that price action that you want to see as well holding, because that means that the aggressive buyers that push price up here want to hold that structure, which they did already here. You rather not want to challenge those one, right? Or challenge them, you can not breach them, and you have open interest exposure here as well. At some points, you flip the situation where at the moment sellers are the one that are the most underwater, or a bit less today, but if the chart's not freezing too much, it will be great. Okay. That's it, right? Here you got your trap sellers down there. That gets squeezed, move strongly up. Next, you got your aggressive buyers keeping price to go up and liquidate a bit more short. Then there's some buyer getting trapped here and getting liquidated, but this one really confirms the trend change, yes. So that's the one I'd rather see stay safe. Now you have a bit of the quite late buyers here that got wrecked today. But that also means that all of this is also sellers that are trapped now that we want to get to squeeze out, right? That's what we need to go up, right? To squeeze the sellers, and there is still $500 million of open interest here. not including Bitgate, but not the one that is fucking up the other chart. So basically you have 500 million of open interest open remaining open, yeah, so open close, but 500 million of open interest into that range since this, right? So that's why I don't really want to go all the way here. Otherwise, that means that the buyer here are the one underwater and exposed to acceleration down. You're gonna squeeze aside one way or the others, on the other, or the other, right? And here you have a decent attempt of bull and sustain. So rather want seller to get out and support price what happened here, and the remaining to get squeezed. And that's why I want things to hold here. Okay, that's enough on that, I think. Now there's obviously alternative count you can do. I mean, we can defeat a corrective, right? Where I guess I got one somewhere. Or it can be a flat, or it can be to get an ABC. It's gonna be the cleanest, but kind of work as well. Maybe a WXY, this ABC up, or even 5. You can always fit something. Not saying it's impossible. Then not really considering this upside to be corrective unless we lose this. At the same time, losing this is going to be the bit of a bearish confirmation, quote unquote. But if it is really bearish, you'll probably have just a full liquidation here, so it's not going to be tradable. That's also why I preferred to get into a short at that point, right? Yesterday. But here I had this. I could manage risk, right? And I have to take profit already. I also take profit, and here I will be willing to expose back into long. And if I get stopped, I gotta get a losses on that long position, but I would think there is good chances that next major take profit gonna get hit. Maybe I will take profit in a higher low. Here I will see. I will let's take profit on the short on the lower low on limits and see if this gets lost. Oh yeah, otherwise you have a 1 2 1 2 and we can turn to 3 or 5. It can always do something like this. That's yeah, alternatively bullish if we don't come here. I think it will be good. I could look at 1 2 3 4 5, I guess, instead of ABC. Can work as well. So now you have valid ABC down into euro 50%. Almost golden pocket. And maybe doesn't close the nicest to me. Or maybe we extend the corrective. That will make more sense as we enter the weekend, right? By extending the corrective, I mean I'm keeping this as an AR1, and maybe we just stay into that range. And we can get anything in between this here. And maybe we chop around and we chop around, and we go on. And we go for a bear trap on Sunday. What I will do in that case, well, it's probably if we get a, otherwise, as the same way, 90% of or more of the weekend we don't get much of a trending move. 90% on the Sunday evening, you get a bit of an aggressive move that got fade, right? It's the last Sunday. What's this? Like at 10 p.m. midnight my time. Well, you get even that earlier, but you can fed the expansion on the Sunday probably. Was into Friday range. I'm not really expecting the high to get taken, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not expecting the high to get taken, but I'm not necessarily expecting a good short here. Not planning one here. Maybe that's gonna be the case. Oof. We're grinding up to some level of illiquidity and resistance. Probably are reaching golden pocket at the moment. Well, we front trend it by a bit. Either Bitcoin. There's still an important resistance at the monthly. Liquidity here. But what I'm mostly interested in is, this. And then look more ranging price action, and then look maybe for the 1-1 here. Or expansion, in fact, right? If we get a bit of more bullishness, as I'm kind of leaning to, right? We can be looking at ABC projection. Yeah, there you go. Maybe we're gonna see such movement earlier next week, right? See a big expansion into a third wave, into what 6-week extension. Come retest POC, drop around. That's the idea for corrective, basically, right? Aiming for that liquidity ultimately into a lower high. Kind of the ideal scenario. I don't know if it's gonna play out. Golden pocket. Probably have a golden pocket where that. Yeah, basically that. If we could do this simple trick, it would be golden. And other than an algo target maybe here. Simple trick, I mean the golden pocket to the golden pocket, right? If it's aggressive enough, it can play out. It's quick enough. Taking people a bit of growth. But I don't know, that's looking for a lot of expansion still. Or otherwise, ABC move into this. That would make a lot of sense. A bit more conservative. Total high. To incur VWAP resistance and so on. Hey 01, how long have you been trading now? Today? This morning? No, I don't know, time go fast now. We are 2023. Kind of full time since 2019. Always trade only Bitcoin. well, and altcoins. But yeah, starting to go. Well, I quit my job at that point. I started the previous cycle, basically. And I bought my first Bitcoin below $10. Somewhere here. So. For the record. The first years was so much easy. I'm sure I knew trading. Then I learned the hard way the bear market following, but I used it to learn. Hi GM. So I guess that's pretty much it, right? There's not a lot more to say. Yeah, killer value being weekly right now. Oh, we have the 200 moving average coming right into the liquidity level here. It's gonna be the nice target. And get that move up. And for now, I keeping the same ID for the long setup. Weekly level here, or reaction after taking those lows. And then I'll maybe take the trade rather when there's a reaction and keep my stop just slightly below it. Or wait, there was a case for other liquidity, but basically there is 3 level of liquidity I'm looking for. And I want to take a trade mostly based on reaction of them, not necessarily just blindly bidding. With preference for that one. Was interesting volume situation here as well. That's why I'm kind of a bit in between consideration right now that this could be the lower. Not really fan of taking a position on a Friday night. As you have your spot bidding here. It's also what I want to say. I want to talk about that because it's also what makes me a bit maybe a bit reconsidering my bullish sentiment here. I have a sentiment. I've planned a trade based on that. At the same time, it can evolve. For now, it's still in the same range, right? In the same range since Tuesday. It's basically all week, right? Since the move. Since the move from Monday and all day Tuesday. We didn't leave that, right? So the lows remain in touch as a C that get taken, but we had quite significant volume on spot yesterday, while at the same time we saw founding diving pretty hard, so confirming a bit of confirming the spot exposure. Where is my... This should be... Okay, I'm gonna take the other chart. It's gonna be better, cleaner. Okay. Yeah. Later, basically. Aggregated spots. great data on that website, but not a great website. So, yeah, you know, you kind of see here clearly in the CVD big buying, which make the CVD go, the funding go down a lot. Somebody filled a big short position. That was firstly my confirmation for entering a short position here on the first high. In fact, it just had it a bit as we came back above. But then we have quickly quick take profits, quick capitulation of the long and quick take profit of the market, make it short or whatever, and spot trading higher here. So it was turning things a bit more bullish. That's also why I was kind of I did flip back another long here. That got stopped because there was this pressure coming from spot, but that also means that now this spot volume is whereas underwater, right? And we can see the difference, in fact, between spot on an USDT, for example, here for USDT derivative. You can see how volume is different, right? Well, you have the same kind of trend where you have consolidation, volume lowering, and then you have volume growing as you go up, spike growing, and it completely died off here at the high, while it remained relatively high here at the high, which makes this distribution then, right? Since it's failed, you know, it's distribution or accumulation are kind of the same thing. It's depends which side win. If we had breakout, well, could have considered this a reaccumulation, right? But yeah, we just shift from a overbought bear div to oversold bull div here at the low. So I don't know, and we can see these volumes. So that means that the late buyers here on spot probably capitulate mostly here, or on the break of market structure on this key level. Don't mean we cannot go another leg or two. Oh yeah, interesting behavior. And so if we start to reclaim this, well, I don't know. I'm still long from the other day. I took the take profit I wanted, and the rest I'm keeping exposure because it is a swing ID. And basically, I will long again if we go back on the weekly, or we dip below and reclaim that weekly. That remain my key level. So I'm gonna keep on that. Hello, Mia Leven. Could this also be a diagonal? Hold the price action above 25.6, and there could still be a wave 5 up. Or the price action above 25.6. I think it might be a good idea. I mean, that could have been a diagonal like this. In that case, we'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's more channel than a diagonal. Interesting channel. I don't really see a diagonal here. But you know, it can always evolve, but you know, it can always turn out to be a diagonal with an ABC as a 1, ABC as a 3, etc. Well, you want to see that contraction. For now, there is not so much contraction here. There is just, yeah, there is still expansion both sides. So I'm not really reading a diagonal on that end. Not really seeing it, but yeah. Technically, it's a smaller wave up. I'm just trying to see again. That would be the 2, or you're still in the 2. But yeah, no, this is, I mean, it's not completely invalid as long as your wave 4 is smaller than the 2. And as long as the 3 is smaller than the 1 and the 5 is smaller than the 3, but you want also the shape, otherwise it doesn't make too much sense. Hey, hasta la vista. I guess you're coming at the end of the stream because I don't have much more to say now. Covered everything I said. Yeah, I covered everything I wanted to cover. I can just maybe take a picture for the marketing I never do. Let's forget that, but yeah. Well, you guys are here, so I mean, but you find some value in what I say, and I had not so bad call over the months, like over the weeks. But I really want to approach marketing, yeah. And so yeah, the same. Yeah, between like still buying Tether now, it doesn't mean much. Oh, there's an interesting thing I saw around, like you know, the Tether photos that's talking about Tether trading at a discount in China. So they are using this fact, this supposedly fact, because it's only a gray dark market for trading crypto in China, if I'm correct, unless things have changed and I'm not aware of. But it's true that Tether is used in China. Oh, I see that from trustworthy outlets or reporters. But what I wanted to say is they are using this to say, well, Tether is trading at a discount in China, so be careful, guys. Tether is losing value, etc. Always the same thing. As soon as Tether depeg a bit, the Tether value depeg a bit on the market. You know, it happened quite an often occasion on the standard market that your Tether Bitcoin gonna be trading at a higher price against Tether that is trading against USD. So Tether is trading also at like 90 or 99 cent a dollar, right? What that also mean, what we saw when it happened on the dollar market, it's mean that in fact the Tether wells were willing to pay a premium to buy Bitcoin. Right, people are holding a lot of Tether, whatever the reason is, right? It's not necessarily well, I'm not going to enter on that subject, but whatever. There's people that are holding more Tethers and Bank USD. It's more convenient in certain situations. And for that fact, in China, it's probably more convenient to trade with Tethers than dollars, because I don't know how you would hold dollars and trade Bitcoin in China. But with Tether, you can. So all of that to say that I saw that, it made me laugh, because for me it's rather a bullish sign, right? It might mean that there's a bit of buying pressure from China some way. It was a fun fact of the day. So if you're reading such a thing, it's not necessarily bad, as some will want to make it happier. And yeah, here we are on the on stock chart. We had a 5 down, an ABC up, and quite some capitulation today. That's also why I kind of, you know, digging things slowly, but Bitcoin seems to be well uncorrelated to stock at the moment, even sometimes inversely correlated. So that's kind of fine, but you know, quite aggressive move down. You know, my opinion on stock and where I would be willing to see them go. So it doesn't seem very bullish at the moment, but Bitcoin is still holding. Now we'll see if we go into to print a higher low, or if we start to go lower, right? Can still be maybe some kind of APC for some reason that will invalidate that count for a fifth, but yeah, there's always the possibility of a bigger bearish event. There is some assets that are performing well. Oil is following so far my count. That might get invalidated if it doesn't get a bit of a retrace soon. But I had a target here. Fifth is a bit overshoot, but lighter degree 3 that it is in is pretty much here, target at 91.50. 91.50. And after maybe a bit of consolidation and the fifth, we might see these things continue to trend, right? As there is some geopolitical battle. And that's not going to be necessarily very good for inflation. Or it's going to be good for inflation, but not good for... Going to make inflation go. And so with market that's usually trying to forecast, or the market that is reacting chess mode with 2 or 3 steps ahead. If you got oil going up too much, that probably means that inflation is going to continue to go up, so that rate's going to continue to go up, and so that can explain partially the pressure on stock, the bearish pressure on stock at the moment, which can unfold onto Bitcoin at any point. For now, it's holding. It seems to be uncorrelated. And I always say, Bitcoin doesn't have to remain correlated with stock. It is its own asset. But if things get too heavy, if you get too strong of a move down, probably gonna see everything go down, right? Significantly. Right? If you, for now, it's just in part with the volatility we saw the previous months. I just had to get more of a capitulation at any point. You know what? Uranium is going up, so for now it's energy. Looking for It's quite heavily going up, in fact. Volume kicking in here. We have a breakout of the volume contraction. Maybe this is going to go into an expansion already. Still like if this could be trap, but I'm not so sure. We'll see when we get a consolidation, if we do. And if you want to have fun trading stocks, there's quite some volatility on the wheat stocks. That's currently quite some impulsive move. Don't really have a broker to trade this efficiently, but seems to be on pattern to a new trend. I don't know if there is something happening politically, because I don't know. It seems to be into a third wave at the moment. We have volume beginning after a crappy chart like Euro was shitcoin here, where most of the wheat stock went down 98% the deal got. And that's real companies that doing real stuff, not like your average shitcoin, right? Well, no, it's reversing. There are some that are still adding, but starting after I don't know any of them personally, so I don't know which one are really going to sustain on the long term the most, but there is some reaction here. There might be some trend trading to happen when it's not just a god candle like this, or maybe some correction to play at some point as well. Might be entering in the moment where can start to show the deviations. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be all for today. Yes, thanks for joining, everybody. Appreciate. Hope you are a nice time, or at least get something out of that stream. Wasn't helpful in some way. And otherwise, I see you when you want in Discord in Toro, so for next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, as one would say. Thanks again, and see you soon.